next step in making your Sola flowers perfect. We did 2 other videos before this one, so if you are catching this live but you haven't caught the ones before, make sure you go back and do that. Also a reminder, we are still having a sale. It's 50% off of regular Sola flowers with the code SAVE50. And then our 5th Avenue and filler is 20% off, but that comes off automatically. You don't need a code for that. So yeah, so our sale is going on. We talked about how if you're new to Sola and you don't really know what it's all about, these are handcrafted from a Sola plant, and each petal is cut out and hand put together and then sent to our warehouse in San Diego. And so sometimes, you know, they have minor imperfections. They do go through pretty high quality control here in San Diego. Not here, I'm in New Jersey, but there in San Diego. But imperfections are very normal. Obviously, when something is handmade, not every single thing could be perfect. Again, I like to keep my flowers sometimes kind of, you know, not perfect, because I think like they look more realistic that way. But if you are wanting to make each flower perfect and you're wanting to spend the time to do that, there are a few things you can do. So the first video we did, hey Lisa, the first thing we did was fluffed our flowers. So that's pretty basic. That's if your flowers, you know, are a little smushed. Again, they travel very far. They travel into a box and then they travel all the way to you. And so sometimes they're a little bit smushed, but that's just a spritz of water, and that's like a 1-minute thing, and they're back to shape and all that. So that was the first video. Second video was plucking petals. And so for that one, we showed you some of our more delicate flowers. So those are the ones with the really skinny, tiny petals, maybe a lot of them. And those are easy to kind of break. So when we get them, you can just pluck the ones out that you don't like, and it looks perfectly good after that. So that was plucking petals, and that was our video last night. So this night, hey Molly. So tonight we are going to talk about trimming petals. Now, I have a flower here that has a broken petal. I just want you to know that I broke the petal for the purpose of this video. It did not come with the petal just broken, but there are times that some of the petals have some little bit of cracks, a little bit of breaks. Now again, they go through quality control, but not everything is like a bad imperfection. Sometimes it's just how it was made or how it was sent to us. So I'm just going to show you how to fix up some of those little boo-boos real fast and easy. A lot of them are less than a minute to do that. And I have, again, so some of these I broke myself because I was looking through my flowers and I really couldn't find any that had many cracks or anything like that. So I had to break it myself. So this is some of the petals again too. So some flowers, they're thinner petals, or the shape of them, they can get like kind of beat up a little bit. I know, Ashley, I love it too. Some of them can get beat up a little bit easier than other ones. Some of them are very, like this one was very sturdy. Again, I broke the petal just for the sake of this video, but these are very sturdy, but some petals are super thin. Like this one has like a thin petal, which is beautiful and delicate and looks beautiful in arrangements, but you can get some cracks and bumps along the way, even just storing it yourself. So sometimes the damage can happen even like, because I put them in boxes and then I stick them in the cubby hole. And so sometimes I even break them. So this is how to make those perfect. So I'm going to go over a few different kinds of problems that you could fix. Again, most of these problems I probably wouldn't really fix because they don't bother me so much, but this is again if you're wanting perfect flowers. Okay, so see a little bitty edge there. Here, when I get close it gets blurry. Okay, so the trick is to have a good pair of scissors. I like to use, it has to be kind of sharp scissors because it's easy to get in there. I like to use, these are hair cutting scissors, and they have like a pretty decent point. And these actually too, I know they look big, but they have a really sharp point to them, and they can cut very easily. But you could also use like fingernail scissors if you really want to get into some of those little petals. If you're really thinking that you're going to spend a lot of time on these flowers to make them perfect and like every petal be exactly whatever, you can use the little nail trimmer scissors. But again, I only do like the major things, or if I break something, or if it's like a little bit of a crack, I do them on my own with hair cutting scissors. So let's just take this Mamma Mia, for example. It's got that little thing, so that's just easy to trim, right? I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just, here, let me turn it this way. I'm gonna just cut it. Now, if you can't get all the way in there, we can use the tweezers like we did last night, and you can just pluck out the bottom, and then there's nothing sticking out now. Okay? All right, so that's just the easy, like obvious trimmy things. Okay, now, again, I broke this petal to show you something that I do sometimes. So let's see this petal that I broke off. Can you see it right there? Okay, now let's say I didn't want to pluck it because then it would take away the thickness there, right? So let's just say I want to shape it. So I can just shape with my scissors and make it a pointed edge. Now, Sola is very easy to cut. So you want to be careful that you're going exactly where you want because it's easy to cut. All right, so I'm just going to go in there and shape it now. So if I cut down here and then I can't like get it out and I don't want to pull it all out, I can take my tweezer again and the little part that I cut, okay, and then it's not so noticeable anymore. Now, again, I like literally broke this flower to do that, but that just to show you that you can shape your petals as well. See this dahlia? This one has, it folds, where it had a fold, it might have had a little, like where it folded, it might have had a little bitty hole. And so you can, again, take your sharp, thin scissors, you can just go in there, you can trim it. And again, we are very careful to send you the best flowers we have, but handmade products are handmade, and sometimes there are some minor imperfections on them, and some people want it to be perfect. If you're one of those people that need your flower to be perfect, then you can just do these few little things. And if you did all of them, if you fluffed and you plucked and you trimmed, it would be all of 5 minutes. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal to do that. So, and again, if you're wanting to really get in there, if it's a flower that you're needing to really shape, you can use those little nail clipping scissors. But I'm satisfied with, see that? You can't really see it from there. I'm satisfied with these kind of scissors. Let's see. I don't know why I picked this flower. Oh, this flower has an itsy bitsy little tiny miniature crack. Can you see that? Ooh, no. See that little itty bitty crack? But let's just say, again, you're wanting it perfect. You can lean your other petals forward and you can just shape that all the way around. And again, if you get into the middle and you feel like you can't get your scissor down in there, you can get your tweezer in there. So this is a little bit more pointy of a petal, so I'm gonna go back and just make sure that it looks similar, okay? All right. Okay, and then this last one, okay. So this one has an itsy bitsy little crack, okay? Let me see if I can even show it to you. So see the crack in this petal? Again, these are very thin petals. So I'm not gonna wanna go too crazy with it, but I'm going to just take my scissor and follow along on the crack and just give it a little clip down to the center, okay? And then I'm going to take my tweezer and I'm going to pluck the piece off that was the damaged one. And then I'm going to take my scissor and just round that edge out to look like the other ones. And then it's not noticeable anymore. Okay? So that's if you want to follow along on a crack and then you need to just pluck it out, the piece that you were left over with that doesn't do it. So that's really all for this one. Here, look, like this little petal wasn't pointed. So you can take that scissor and you can point it. And you can go around and do this. Now, again, I don't mind some of these like little minor things. But if you're wanting every single flower to be petal to be perfect, obviously you can do that. Here, like look at this one. This one had like of the edge just a little bit ridgy. So you can go in there. And again, the key is to use very, very sharp scissors with pointy tips so you can get down in your flower to make it perfect. Okay, so this one had like just a little hanging thing off. So that's it. So we did fluffing, we did plucking, and we did trimming. And tomorrow night we are going to look at how to fluff flowers that have curled edges that you can't just totally hose down with water. And I'll show you just a few tricks that I use in order to fluff those up if I'm not going to shove them down into a bouquet or something like that. And I need those perfect. So that is that. Okay, so get yourself some good scissors. Hey everybody. Get yourself some good scissors that have points on them if you're wanting to do some trimming of petals. Remember our sale, Save 50s, 50% off of Sola flowers, excluding the 5th Avenue and filler because that is 20% off and you don't need a code for that. So everyone have a good night and we will see you tomorrow night.